in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the S Bros podcast. I'm your host, Armando, and with me, your co-host.
This is Aaron.
And we're just going to be talking about movies today.
Yeah.
You know?
Talking about movies.
Movies that we've seen, movies that we want to see, movies that we're going to see, so on and so forth. You know how we do.
So, let's just kick it right off.
Let's kick it right off.
Because I have a burning question to ask you, AJ.
Hit me with your
Armando.
question, dude. Hit me with your question.
How did you like Aquaman 2?
All right. It has had scathing reviews, I think we all know.
Yes.
Shrouded in controversy. You have Amber Heard in there, the
lady who loves to poop the bed.
Lady who loves to poop the bed. There were parts that I thought were just almost a pure insult to watch. Like they were trying to offend.
What do you mean?
Let me finish my synopsis of.
Because I need to circle back to that.
Yeah, well, I'll answer all your questions.
Okay.
I'll answer all your questions.
Perfect.
So it was, in my opinion, parts of it that were almost offensive that they were trying to make us watch. And then there were parts that I thought were pretty awesome.
Okay.
So there was a lot of bad, but some good.
So I don't necessarily have the ability or any desire whatsoever to go and watch that right now. So I want 100% spoiler review of any question that I ask.
Okay, hit me.
Okay. What was awesome about it? Or do you want to talk about the absolute insult of scenes?
We'll talk about the insult of scenes first. So
Save the good stuff for last.
Yeah, we'll save the positive for after because there's
how much positive stuff were there? Was it outweighing?
No, but it neutralized. Perfect. It neutralized. Perfect. So
that's what I love from Jason Momoa.
From an objective point of view.
Okay.
When I was watching it, here, we're going to pause. 3, 2, 1, pause. Sorry about that, folks. Welcome back. Just had a little technical difficulty.
Gosh, you have thrown off my entire flow.
So, from my objective point of view, the parts that were very difficult, that were hard to watch.
The insult to your intelligence.
Aquaman can swim like 1,000,000 miles an hour underwater. Okay, faster than shark. He's supernatural underwater, basically. Okay. Yet there's parts of it where he discusses needing a ride from a giant neon, almost electronic looking seahorse.
Okay.
So, and I don't see the point of it because it appeared to be swimming almost at the same rate of speed that Aquaman does, but he specifically describes it as he needs a lift sometimes.
Because of her mysterious behavior, I have decided to name her Mystery.
So, I know in the comics he has a seahorse.
Yes.
But
he also doesn't necessarily swim that crazy in the comics either.
So it was most likely just fan service to have that seahorse there.
I think it must have been because it was so dumb.
Figures.
It was so dumb. And then they didn't really give you all of the fighting scenes that you would have wanted out of it. There's a part when they are about to break into a battle scene and it cuts to him playing with action figures showing his son. Talking to him about the battle and being like, pew, 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 and I was like, and then I went and smashed into these guys over here, and like,
that would have been cool to see.
It like cuts to it periodically, but then it goes back to him acting goofy with his son, and then like knocking into his dad or something, and yeah, I didn't like it. And then I'm sorry, it's so dumb that he was washing his suit and air drying it, like that was in the trailer, and that was in the movie, and it was so dumb. And then there's a scene where he's changing his baby's diaper. The baby pees directly in his mouth. And I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, and he never misses. But again, like when the scene happens, he doesn't like act like you would think he'd act like if somebody got like baby pee in their mouth, they'd be like, oh God. And they would have like, moved. But he like stayed there for a second and like kind of didn't really move and let it extinguish. It was just a really weird. I don't kind
of like stunned, like
no, just like of course, and like it was just so bizarre. And then there's a scene where Amber Heard makes the urine stream go into Jason Momoa's face, and it's just so weird. And because again, Amber Heard, she poops the bed, so yeah,
she's used to bodily fluids.
She's a body fluid handler, so there's that,
which is weird. and funny because I recently saw this article. It obviously just fishing for headlines, but it was talking about how, through scientific studies, they, measured her face and it turned out to be the most beautiful human on the planet.
Oh, she's stupid hot. Like that's not even up for debate. She is so hot, but she's so crazy that like it though. She's crazy. But there's like scenes in there where you're like, damn, she's just like so hot. And like, but I know she craps in a bed just to prove a point. Like it's like, dude,
dedication.
Maybe that's what makes me love her more.
Dedication.
Anyways, so there's that. There's a scene. Parts that I liked is that there's some brotherly camaraderie there. That always hits close to home.
Love it.
And
Love it.
They're going through the some of these things together, and there's just this sequence of scenes where Jason Momoa and him are bonding, and what's his name? His brother, who plays
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Orm.
Orm. They're going through this jungle and they're bonding and they're talking about foods, and Jason Momoa tricks him into eating a cockroach, but it's a CGI cockroach that he takes off of what I'm sure is a CGI leaf, and he's just eating, but he's not, because he's probably just biting into like, I don't know, a green screen plastic bar or something like that when he's filming.
Yeah.
So it's all just fake, and it's like, why is this scene even in there? And then they just cut away from it like it was no big deal. And then they do the end credit scene where he puts the roach in his bird. It's just all stupid. I hated that. That was so dumb. I was like, he tricked me eating a cockroach. Why? So anyway.
Sounds a little personal.
Dude, it was so irritating. I was just like, why? Like, there's parts of that movie that were just, it almost was insulting. And so, but there's parts that made me chuckle.
Okay.
They do that scene, which made me mad, and then they'd follow it up with a scene that just made me chuckle. And so you're like, oh.
Do you have an example?
Yes. They're taking their ship through this little area right after they've broken Orm out of prison, because he's in this prison. And he has, because when he breaks him out, they've been depriving Orm of water. So he's all emaciated and he's weak and he can't do much. And he goes up and Jason Momoa breaks his brother out, and he's like, did you bring any water? And Jason Momoa is like, I did. Oh, I drank it all. And he's like, what? And he's like, because he has to, this prison that he's in is in the middle of the Sahara Desert. He's like, it's hot up there. And I was like, it made me chuckle. And so, yes, there are parts that are funny, and then there's parts.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then there's a part where they're flying through this ship underwater, and they're just talking. And he makes and Jason Momoa makes a tight butthole joke. And it was just like, why does your butthole just get so tight like that? It's just funny. And I'm just like, oh, okay, gotcha. So yes, there's parts that are funny and there's parts that are good. There are some really good action sequences in there.
One of my favorite scenes in the first one was that massive underwater battle against the crab people. Was there a scene like that in this one where it was just full-scale war?
Kind of, not really though.
Okay.
Nothing like the first one. So the idea is there's this black trident that black sea urchin guy,
Black Manta,
that he acquires and gets a lot of power from, but it's possessed with the soul of the brother of
Neptune
of Atlan. And because he turned evil,
this is a brother movie.
Yeah, he turned all of his followers into these just monsters, and then King Atlan used blood magic to seal him in this ice tomb, and so the main plot of the movie is fighting greenhouse gases, and because to get into his brother, they have to burn this fuel source that's very powerful, but it's just pure greenhouse gas, basically.
Oh, dude,
and
pollution.
they talk about it, and it's the constant theme of this, as how we're destroying the oceans and the planet and all this stuff. And so there is that soapbox part, and it happens at the very end, and Jason Momoa gives us a ton of his and his little tribal yell and stuff. Lots of that.
Lots of shouting.
Lots of shouting. And so, there's those. And so basically the main enemy is not Black Manta,
It is
or
pollution.
or I forget what his brother's name is. That is cool though. His Dark Kingdom is called Necron, it's called Necron, and looks sick. It's like an evil Wizard of Oz looking lair.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
so.
Some cool visuals, stuff.
Yeah,
Underwater stuff.
There's some cool visuals. There's some cool stuff. The guy who voices Gimli voiced the crab guy.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm not gonna remember.
I'm pretty
his
sure
name
he's
off the top of
dead.
my head. No,
Didn't he pass away?
I don't think so. Did he?
No,
I'm gonna
I don't
Google
know.
that really quick.
Yeah, Google that. Look that up. Fact check that.
Well, now I have to. Now
You
I'm
have to
gonna know
fact
his
check.
name. So.
So yeah, there's those parts. The visuals though from underwater, the parts that they put detail into looked sick.
John Rhys Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's
gotcha.
79 years old.
Damn. So yeah, he voiced that. He might not have voiced much of it. He might have just made a couple of sound bites and they just AI'd the rest. But whatever. Anyway.
For Aquaman?
Yeah, the second one.
Valid slug, but you will never have my allegiance!
Do you say?
He's credited in the first one.
So
And
then
so they must
they
have
may
just,
have just
like,
used
take-
his.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Just taking a sound bite for the second one.
So yeah, so there's some good battle scenes that are kind of a little bit more close quarters, a little bit better battles that are amongst them just fighting each other,
Okay.
and there's a little bit more darkness to it. But again, with the darker points of it, and again, it supposed to be about the trench? Wasn't it the original word that it was supposed to be about the trench?
No, there was going to be a spin-off movie about the trench, which I thought would have been sick.
It would have been.
Because that was also a very cool plot detail in the first one. The first one had like 5 different plots.
Yeah, the first one was like very watchable.
It was stacked. So yeah, I would say it was definitely watchable. Goes hard in the beginning. Permission to come aboard.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful scene. Did you know that they actually he wasn't on set that day? That it was a they CGI'd him in. They had to use a stand-in.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah,
They CGI'd his face.
I'm still waiting for the paycheck on that.
Shut up. Is that even truth, dude? Is that even truth? The thing
Yes.
that I actually... Oh, it is truth? Just not you?
No, they.
Okay, shut the hell up.
I'm still waiting for the paycheck on that.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. All right, so here, this is what I was going to say. That wasn't where it was at. The budget for this one was much larger than the first one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one was 160 million. The budget for this one was 205 million, and I think they made much more use of that budget in the first one than they made in the second one. There's some cool architecture parts, but they don't show it enough in enough light for it to look cool as it's supposed to. That's what my personal synopsis of it. And then again, like Amber Heard's in it a lot. The scenes with the baby are dumb because that's what it is. Like I just don't buy
100% a CGI baby.
No, it's not.
No,
no,
an actual baby.
Yes, but you never
Weird.
for one moment buy that Jason Momoa loves that kid like he loves his own son, and you never really buy that he loves Amber Heard as his wife, because there's even a particular scene where he's like, "Stay away from my wife," and like you hear it.
It's just phoned in.
You hear it and you know. You don't feel that way, dude. You don't care. You don't care. Let him slap her around, dude. She's into that. I assume. Not trying to besmirch the lady. But yeah, so it was better than I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't by any means greatness.
I hear that.
But the trailers that were in there, I was actually pretty excited about, because that
Okay.
Into Darkness movie looks super good.
Out of Darkness.
Out of Darkness. It looks really, really good.
Yes.
That's actually something I wanted to know
see
a little
that
more
movie too.
detail about.
While you're looking that up, I had a few details about the Borderlands movie.
Hit me. Let the people know.
So, for one, very excited about that. It's good. I wouldn't say that I'm extremely hopeful. However, I've seen some silhouette pictures of the cast. You can't really see their face. However, you can kind of see the outline, and I believe that the characters will look good. But I am hesitant on who they have playing some people. They're not going to have certain characters, but then they're going to use other ones from like the DLC of the game, and so it is going to be an overall interesting experience. But I went to IMDb and I looked at their trivia section for this movie, and there has got to be a typo, but I found this too hilarious not to share with you. So Jamie Lee Curtis, her character is Tannis. She is a scientist in the game who she is a little I would say sporadic ADHD. She's got some tendencies.
Okay. She has some tism, dude.
She has some tism. And this is just such a short little trivia detail from IMDb. Just fantastic app that 7 out of 8 people found interesting. It is that Jamie Lee Curtis described her character as autistic.
That's pretty funny.
And that is it. That's the only thing that...
she's autistic.
She's autistic. That's
nothing else about like, oh yeah, she also does this or anything like that. She's like, yeah, I play an autistic chick.
Very interesting. Very interesting. That's got to
funny.
be like someone typed that up from IMDb. I do not know if Jamie Lee Curtis would say something like that.
That feels
that's too like...
I would love it if it was though. I'd love to. I'd love her even more. So it's funny because when I first tried to look up Out of Darkness, there's a novel. And this is a historical young adult novel by Ashley Hope Perez, published in September of 2015.
Interesting.
And it chronicles the love affair between a Mexican-American girl and a black kid, and 1930s New London, Texas. Yeah. But the film itself, the one I'm talking about, is this. It's a prehistoric horror story, and it's a group of settlers against an unknown force during the old Stone Age.
Okay. I do really want to see that.
I do too. Is it?
I loved 10,000 BC. Is this anything like that?
Darkness.
Or is this more like year 1? Yeah. No, it's it. I watching the trailer, it did look very good. It looked like a survival horror movie.
I just like that style a little bit more because it seems more immersive. Again, more practical effects. That's something that I think I'm a little hesitant about the new Mad Max. It does not 100%. Look. It does not look the same in the practical effects. Did you
hear that Prey is getting a sequel?
Yes, I did. I did. But it's in like it's not. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with like the girl from the last one.
Correct. It's a standalone, but it is technically in the same universe. So it's classified as a sequel.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Out of Darkness was produced by Escape Plan and executive produced by David Kaplan and Sam Tilly on behalf of the Animal Kingdom. The film was co-produced by Wendy Griffin and Selkie Productions. Financing came from Screen Scotland and BFI, awarding funds from the National Lottery. The studio associated with the film is Bleecker Street Media. I know Bleecker Street. They do some horror movies, I'm pretty sure.
What have they done?
Hold on. What is Bleecker Street Media? I feel like I've seen some horror movies. Pops up Bleecker Street. I can see it in my head. I wonder how the internet will be in the studio.
The studio, that's our parents' garage.
Okay, it didn't let me pull up Bleecker Street. Hold on. Bleecker Street Projects. Yeah, I like movies that use the more practical effects because they let me feel like I'm getting sucked into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It allows me to not be like, oh, that's fake. Like it's not like that I hate because it takes you out of it almost immediately because you're like that would never happen because that's not real. But movies that give you just the sense of the thrill, you can get the sense that they're actually real.
Yeah. And it helps with it being a spectacle that you would want to see in the theaters.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these movies. Waitress the
Are you
musical,
thinking of Blumhouse?
One Life. I think I might be thinking of Blumhouse. ISS, Treasure, Rumors, Sasquatch.
They did
Sunset.
ISS?
Do you know what ISS is?
The International Space Station?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's currently out.
Now available on demand.
So I guess it's now currently out of theaters.
That's what I guess. But
It was that is not promising because that's a very short run.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to look at the trailer of that. I don't remember anything about that.
That's the one where the Americans and the Russians go to the International Space Station and then they're partying.
Yeah. Oh, that's also something about Aquaman 2 I forgot. The guy who plays the brother of Atlan is do you remember what one of the main Russian guys looks like? He was also in Game of Thrones for a little bit. Anyways, he's the brother.
Say one of the main
Atlan.
Russian guys, are you talking from ISS?
Yes, from ISS.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking like
no,
sorry,
a
main Russian guy.
Putin?
I think he's up there.
Yeah. As a main Russian guy, but no,
and then that dude from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah.
That's how I think about Russian.
Yeah, but no, this is the guy who was in Game of Thrones for a little bit. He was he's in the trailer. If you don't remember,
there's going to be a handful of people who are going to love that reference.
Probably. But
you just blew right past it.
I just can't remember what his actor name is, but he's in Aquaman 2 for like a couple minutes before he gets frozen in a block of ice.
Shame.
Yeah, but what was I going to say?
Oh, was there any?
The Mad Max 2.
Yeah.
The thing that
well, it's technically
the prequel. Prequel. One, I need to see Mad Max Fury Road. I don't remember her having only one arm. I don't remember Charlize Theron having only one arm.
Yeah, and so this claw
she only has one arm.
It's this claw thing.
Okay. Then that part I was like, wait, did she only have one arm? And then because I was trying to I was looking at it after CGI.
She's got no hair.
She's got no hair, so she cuts it off.
She's got some like grease and ash on her forehead.
Mm-hmm. But she looks the same body size, really, as Anya Taylor-Joy in the movie. So.
I also just found out that Anya is in Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you mean? Like you did?
Yeah, dude. I looked up the cast list.
Judging by your face right now, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. I mean, yes, you looked up the cast list, but
here's the thing, dude. You need to take this seriously, and that's the thing, dude. You need to do research outside of these moments that we're in. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you gotta take this seriously.
I go in free birding it.
Don't free bird it. That's disgusting.
No, not free balling it. Free birding it.
I heard you the first time, so yeah. But I recognize the Bleecker Street logo. I feel like there's more films that they've been a part of, but whatever.
What years are they mainly active in?
Doesn't say.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't say. Doesn't say. Doesn't matter.
Is there a year that they're pumping out 3 movies or just one?
No. I don't think that they're not a big studio by any means. Yeah.
Any that I'd recognize?
I named them off. I literally did.
Oh yeah. Well, other than ISS,
Treasures.
I got a lot. I got hooked
Sasquatch.
on. I started immediately thinking of something else.
Yeah. No. I named them all off. I don't know any of them. So yeah, I want more practical effects. When I was walking through Legacy, they have a poster for it's another Exorcist movie.
Really?
I think it's called The First.
Are you talking about Omen?
No, I think
it's called The First Omen.
Oh yeah. It is The First Omen. You're right.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm totally down for it. Like I said, I like a good scary movie. Yeah. I want something that really. I don't know I think it's because I like that feeling of primal fear.
Yeah.
And not that you ever, I don't sit in the theater full of dread, oh man.
That as soon as I walk out of this room, it's going to be out there.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. But I like those moments because I can suspend disbelief and I can let myself get carried away with the story. And so
I imagine myself in the shoes.
Yeah. If it's a good quality story, I can do that pretty easily. So that's my personal feeling about that. I'm excited for a good scary movie all the time.
You gonna go see Madam Web?
We are gonna go see Madam Web, and we'll talk about how terrible it is.
Oh boy!
We'll have to do a review of how terrible it is.
I saw one scene.
What was it?
I walked in and I saw a scene. Let's see. It was the scene from the trailer where she's on the train and she's kind of it's like a really bad version of Next with Nicolas Cage, where she's kind of seeing what could happen in the next future, and so she's like trying to do different things. And the interaction between her and the other girls are just, it's so
blocky.
Yeah, because it's not forced. But it doesn't fit.
They just don't have good on-screen chemistry.
Yeah, and it's not. They're definitely lines. Like, you know, there's that old saying where acting is reacting, but there's almost no reacting happening. It's just them there. It's like that scene in Drake and Josh. What's acting? You show up, you say some lines, you go home. That's what it feels like these people are doing.
Okay, I get you.
Now, Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson were originally led to believe that this movie was a part of the MCU, and I say, shame on them for believing that was going to ever be a thing.
Yeah.
How did they? It's a Sony project. What are they just not aware of what's happening? Are they just living in their own little world? I mean, you're talking about me doing research outside of the project.
That they needed to.
So
Yeah,
I don't have high hopes for that movie by any means. Dude, it's at 17 on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, I tend to. This is just me. I will always go off of audience score for anything, and so for me,
what's the audience?
I couldn't tell you. It's probably not. It's probably not very high.
Madam Web.
But yeah, we'll need to go see Madam Web, and we'll talk about how much we hate it. Talk about how much we wish it was a Spider-Man movie.
Very excited for that.
Yeah.
It says 57.
Audience?
Yeah.
So half of the people that went and saw it actually liked it. Interesting. Okay,
that
dude.
That doesn't give me good hopes.
I am so excited.
Dude, the people who liked it were probably just horny.
And Dune 2 also comes out soon.
Dude, I'm so excited for Dune 2.
I cannot wait.
Much more excited for Dune than Madam Web. Should we
100%.
Should we like watch that on a day where we're watching something better so we can kind of just forget about it?
No. I'm not going to sit through a double feature when I have to grind through Madam Web. Not at all. Not at all. The next movie that we'll sit down and talk about is going to be that Out of Darkness movie. I think we'll go see that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the next movie we'll see after that will be Madam Web. Then the movie after that will be Dune 2.
Because Out of Darkness is a short one. That's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah. I'm not.
Madam Web is only an hour and a half.
Good.
So that feels right.
Only an hour and a half? Good. Any longer?
Good.
As Jocko would say.
Dude, who's going to carry the boats?
Who's going to carry the boats? That's God.
Madam Web. Madam Web is carrying the boats.
She won't.
She's got super strength.
Yeah, but she's... Never mind. So we're at 28 minutes.
28 minutes. Do you have anything else to say?
I really don't. Like I said, I laid out the movies that we're going to be talking about coming forward.
Okay.
That's really kind of all I got, you know. Like and subscribe. You know, if you want to hear some more of this, support the brothers while they're, you know, while they're building their movie empire.
Movie empire that has what?
We're on 4 subscribers now. So you know what?
Subscribers.
Thank you, everybody.
And 3 of those are family,
and 1 is a friend. But we want to thank you to our. We want to send a thank you to our subscribers.
That it's like family.
You've basically made us internet sensations.
You are day ones.
You are day ones, and we'll remember you for forever. When we're doing celebrity boxing matches, we will allow you to come and be in the suites.
Dude, celebrity boxing matches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick my YouTuber.
I'll pick my YouTuber, dude.
I'll start a rivalry.
Coyote Peterson, I'm calling you out.
I don't know if he's ever done the celebrity boxing.
Probably not, dude.
They did do a YouTube boxing once.
I'm sure they did, dude. I'm sure they did. I mean, if they were talented, it'd be something that people
I did
would
a
pay
thing
some money
was there.
for. I did a thing. That'd be funny.
I love that guy. Shout out to I Did a Thing.
Shout out to I Did a Thing.
Shout out to Mr. Sunday Movies.
Shout out to Average Gaming Association.
Shout out to the S Bros Podcast.
Shout out to the S Bros Podcast. And tune in for Mornings with Mando 7 days a week. Anything else, Aaron? Anything else?
No.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.